What up, what up, what up, world? It's your boy, your Big Sam, and it's hump day. Y'all know what that means. It's tea time. In the meantime, in between time, hump day. Boy, OG Big Sam in the building, aka Mr. White, on the network with the franchise. And we're gonna touch on some things and try to get some understanding what's wrong with some of you people. Why y'all can't put accountability and onus where it's supposed to be? You know, I'm just not understanding. Why is it Terry Fontenote seat got to be hot for coaching issues? I'm just I'm really flabbergasted, and scratching my head a little bit. I mean, you took D Led's little assertion of, off the blank having a conversation with them and other folks in the coaching staff and all to mean that, you made the whole situation about Terry, like, what's going on with the team is his fault. But to hear a lot of you all talk, y'all start most sentences with, it's too much talent on this team to be playing like this. There's too much talent on this team to be losing like this. If it's too much talent, then why is we talking about Terry need to be fired about anything? Well, why is that a trending topic? Why is that a concept? Why is that even a conversation? But to some degree, I kind of get some of that. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of you got this whole thing up in your mind. If it's not the high profile name that you want, then it was a wasted check or a wasted pick. You know what I'm saying? Or something to that effect. Now we could go and look at last season. Now, if I'm not mistaken, we were 6-3 at one mark and proceeded to lose 7 out of the last 9 games. I have a question. Does Terry Funk know a coach? I'm just curious. Does he is he in the film room trying to design coaching schemes um, in any way, shape, form, or fashion? Is he on the sideline, telling players to go in and out of the game with these packages, that package, or calling that play, or calling this play? I'm just trying to make sure I have a good understanding. I mean, because from where I stand, when you're dealing with money issues, $89 million worth of dead cap that disappeared, and all of this talent that's on this team. I mean, he was a part of the administration that drafted Pitts, Drake, Bijan, Harrison, Tyler, so on and so forth. But you know, I'm how is it? What's wrong with this team? Always in lately over the last month or so. What's wrong with this team seems to fall into their front nose that. Now I don't understand how that is. He's managed the money side, the financial side, pretty well, and gotten us out of some pretty financial situations, you know, and he's gotten the talent here. But as the tactician has said on multiple occasions, the talent that's here has been managed poorly. Um, Coaching situations, bad clock management, um, poor defensive execution of what I'm saying in directing the scheme. How is any of that has anything to do with Ted Fontenote? Now, franchise, I'm trying to would like to see if you can help me out and understand uh, the mindset that places coaching issues on the GM. How does that work?
No, like, okay, I may have mentioned this last week, and I'm gonna reiterate it this week. We're supposed to be looking forward to the fucking draft,
Yep.
but we're still dragging on about this bullshit. And I don't know why. We're still letting last season linger on instead of looking forward to the draft and the new season. Why? Why are we still looking backwards? And we're complaining about something that didn't happen last year and not looking forward to what could happen this year. We got a brand new, defensive coordinator that we almost never talk about. Um, we don't talk about the excitement surrounding our offense. You know, our brand. He's not brand new, but he's still new. You know, he's going into technically his second season, but he's still a rookie. We got one of the top running backs, in the whole league, and Drake. We're not. I mean, we don't know what we're going to see out of Pitts this year because this is a contract year for him. But no, we're not talking about any of that. We're still talking about what didn't happen last season. I want to know why.
Mm, 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 mm,
Why? I mean, what is it? I'm not understanding. No, maybe I'm having a a miss. I'm missing on something. My connection is bad here. I don't know. I feel like I'm having a sprint connection from back in the day. Any look, everybody know that shit will hang up on your ass in a fucking heartbeat. Everybody know. That's what I'm feeling like right now. I I, I don't know. I feel like I'm lost. Everybody in the whole fucking league, every single team is looking forward to what what this season could turn out to be. They're looking forward to who they could draft. Us Falcons fans, no, we're not doing that. We're still moping around and moaning and groaning and bitching and complaining about what this coach didn't do, what the players that we had last season didn't do, and who didn't step up, and this and that. Instead of let's just wash everything. You know, I, Sam, aren't you supposed to cleanse your sins as a Christian? I'm just I'm just I don't know. Every time you
Yeah,
go to the altar, aren't you supposed to cleanse your? Why are we
yeah.
not going to the altar? I don't understand.
Well, I guess when when you're trying to understand the philosophy of blame, it kind of runs you down these roads. Um, you know, it's it's really it's asininely tiring, to be honest. You know, um,
It is.
I mean, because a lot has happened in this off season, and none of that is being talked about. Instead, we have this, this mindset. You know, we're busy rehashing of what it has been. You know, okay, it's no secret. We've had, honestly, a couple of decades of inability to develop. I pointed that out earlier today. We
Facts.
really haven't had, optimal player development since Dan Reeves. To be honest,
Facts.
it's no secret. It's really no secret. But we in this particular situation, what I'm saying, and you're trying to lay waste, lay blame, or dismiss the job that Terry Fontenote has done. You're missing the fact that we've signed a linebacker that's able to pass cover. We've shored up our third phase of this team, special teams. Um, Brought in Agnew. I mean, um, a lot of y'all scoffed at, what I'm saying, resigning the offer. A lot of y'all pitched the bitch fit, what I'm saying, about Felipe Franks, who has made a place for himself in this league, undrafted, no doubt. Undrafted. He's been in this league 5 years.
Yep.
And every coach that whose team he's been on has not a bad thing to say about this man. Locker room presence, uh, team guy, willing to do whatever you ask of him. He's a Swiss Army knife, from backup to emergency to scout team quarterback, backup fullback, backup tight end, one of the better blocking tight ends, as it were, and special teams ace. That's six things that this man can do. And y'all have a whole damn problem with adding a Swiss Army knife into your squad.
Don't want that. We don't want that.
You know, you know what I'm saying?
That's not
You
good enough
know,
for us.
it's not. It's not. Y'all had a conniption because we didn't go and throw $40 million a year to Trey Henderson. Imagine that.
Mm.
If we had uh 65 to $70 million worth of cap space, you know what I'm saying? We maybe probably would have went after one of those guys, a Miles Garrett, Michael Parsons, Henderson, um, Crosby. We might have probably would have made a move like that. But we got Family Dollar money. You know what I'm saying? We got Dollar General money. We ain't got Bloomingdale's money. We ain't got flips piles of money. We ain't got Buckhead monies. You know what I'm saying? We got Family Dollar money, so we got to shop efficiently with our coins. But that reality is not you know what I'm saying. It doesn't sit. It don't sit with. It don't seek in. It don't compute with a lot of you. You know what I'm saying? Especially when it comes to the draft. Yeah, y'all got y'all mind. Y'all out here running these mock drafts. You know what I'm saying? Throwing up these big names. You know what I'm saying? That we should draft the 15 pick. Y'all do realize we got five. Count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 picks, and we need 10 or 11. But you want us to go out here and make this pick at 15. Damn the situation of our personnel. You do know we got to have 90 pieces of personnel by the time training camp hit, right? Y'all do know that, right? Y'all do know that. I'm just trying to. I wanted to make sense. So when some of you all hit sin on some of the bullshit and monotony that's it, like today, and then wonder why we call a lot of y'all stupid is, stupid does. To shoot fit, wear it. I've been saying don't hit sin, but yet y'all run out here and he is down well. You know what I'm saying? With free agency, but he sucks in the draft. How is that when 90% of your sentences start with there's too much talent on this team to lose like this, or there's too much talent on this team to play like this? It's too much talent. Which is it? Which is it? It's either he's doing his job or he's not. And judging by the documented evidence, he is done and doing his job. The problem with this team has nothing to do with Terry Fontenote. Terry Fontenote has went out here with Family Dollar money and brought back public groceries. He brought back public groceries. But you all ain't satisfied because in a lot of them groceries, I know a lot of y'all don't like cornbread from scratch. Y'all like that jiffy. You know what I'm saying? You don't like, you know what I'm saying, homemade pancakes. You want to go in there and get a $5.79 box of Aunt Jemima. You know, I'm just calling it for what it is. The problem with this team is clear as day, coaching. Clear as day, it's coaching. And it's been coaching since Dan Reeves. It's just keep it a buck. I mean, when are we going to look at the situation in its most realistic form? When your coach is standing on the sideline and can't manage timeouts. When your coach is standing on the sideline and it's third and 6, and the whole defensive backfield is playing 20 yards off the line of scrimmage. Or you in a third and distance, and you got a defensive end or a nose tackle dropping in pass coverage. Terry didn't decide that. Terry didn't call that. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. I mean, what are we really talking about him? Georgia, Texas, boy, what's happening? Hey, Sonya, how y'all doing? And this is true, Georgia, Texas, boy. People swear up and down that we ain't got no talent on the team, but they sentences begin and sometimes end with "there's too much talent on this team." You know, this, that, and the third. You know what I mean? We see this. We hear this on a daily basis. You know, we saw it firsthand on when you go from 6-3 with your destiny in your hands, division on lock, and you lose 7 out of your last 9 games. That ain't got a damn thing to do with the GM at all. It has nothing to do with the GM. That's all Homer Simpson. But yet, all we hear and see across the board is Terry Fontenote and Terry got the and Terry Fontenote he need to be fired. Why you gonna fire Terry for bad coaching? He ain't the coach. You know what I'm saying? And trust and believe, if he was doing as bad as a job as y'all say, trust he would be the last person sitting next to Arthur Blank in the skybox week in and week out. Because I'm gonna tell you something. You know, let's just give you a little seed to gnaw on a little bit, to plant it in your little soil a little bit. All right. Um, Arthur Smith really wasn't a Terry hire, and neither was Raheem. Now, trust and believe, if this year goes like last year, Ted Fondo will get to hire his guy. And trust and believe he's earned that. Tell you something else too. I tell you one part, a strong piece of this personnel that is a Terry guy, and that's MPJ. It's MPJ. Penix was a Terry pick. You know who? You know who was a Raheem pick? Kirk Cousins. How'd that work out? But y'all want to blame everything that's wrong that is wrong with this team that is in disarray. I'll tell you if I know. When everything that's wrong with this team has everything to do with coaching. It has everything to do with coaching. But y'all don't want to have that conversation. You know, y'all don't want to have that conversation. Judge Textbook said, in my opinion, how can we go wrong drafting all defense? We need starters at every level. Yeah, and again, we need bodies. We need bodies. And you got, some of these armchair, couch GMs, you know, out here, again, I deal with your favorite player names, high end, guys that that's going to be, top 10 pick, top 15, and we got 5 picks, man. We got 5 picks and we need 10. There are 3 moves that need to be made that it's going to involve trades. Trading down and trading out of the first round is imminent. Not just a possibility, it's imminent. It's imminent, which means it's a must. You know what I'm saying? How else are we going to get, we're going to get the amount of personnel that we need? You know what I mean? I'm just saying, when you out here, what I'm saying, downgrading or blowing out or dismissing, the job that the man has done with the personnel that's here, you know, um, and the job he's done with the financial situation and be able to make the signings that he has, you know what I'm saying, filling in the depth chart, shoring up special teams, restructuring a few deals, moving what needed to be moved, and letting go what didn't want to be here. Because they're tear about that life. You ain't got to say it but one time. You own what we're offering, you know what I'm saying, or what you want. We can't pay. All right, we'll holler at you. We'll holler at you. You know what I'm saying? Those things like that, situation like that. I mean, it is what it is. It is what it is. And I'm telling y'all now, get your mind ready, get your heart ready. You know what I'm saying? Get your napkins ready, because Tyler Algier, I truly believe, will not be in the Falcon uniform next year, this upcoming season, after when this draft is over with. I truly believe that. Again, we need picks. Between the 15th pick and Tyler Algier, that pixie dust is going to be sprinkled on number 15, and it's going to turn into 3 or 4 or 5 more picks. Some way, shape, form, and fashion. We've seen Terry do his magic in the draft. You know what I'm saying? This one is not going to be any different. You got the Kirk, you got Tyler. By virtue of Penix speaking on Pitts, you pretty much guarantee he will probably still be a Falcon, unless a certain particular team out west makes us an offer that we can't refuse. Then if you've been paying attention this week, you know who that team is. You know what I'm talking about. But for the most part, other than that, Pitts will probably be a Falcon to start the season. Now, again, that's the foregoing job that has been done and is being done. Y'all placing your blame and your eyeballs in the wrong place, in the wrong, in the wrong sector. Now, for what we got to do now and where we're going, I mean, when it's all said and done, we get down to that point, and once again, everything is in the training camp, and all the ingredients are here. You know what I'm saying? It's for this staff to do its thing. We brought Matt in. You know what I'm saying, to dump his wisdom of the game into Penix and help him, process, things and get some understanding, get some pointers and points, you know, and whatnot. Another good aspect, another good event that has happened with this team, and we're not talking enough about having a Matt Ryan to come in and mentor your quarterback and offense uh, is a win-win. But if you listen to the fans, if you listen to the media, it's bullshit. He, you know, it ain't. He can't. He ain't gonna. He ain't gonna help and all this old kind of foolishness and nonsense. You but I'm just saying, we if you know better, you can do better. You can think better. You can see better. You know what I mean? A lot of y'all spend a lot of time making our situation a lot worse than what it is. It ain't. It's not all the way good, but it ain't goddamn apocalyptic bad either. Is the way y'all, most of y'all making it. Now, uh, and I know you and coach do a lot of scouting. Prospects and all and whatnot. Um, where do you see us? In what direction do you see us going when in about a week and a half?
Well, I would like for us to trade down, but I have this feeling that we're gonna trade that second pick. I feel like we're gonna get a a bona fide starter on our defense with that first pick, and then I think we're gonna trade that second pick and get more picks in the back half, third round, fourth round,
So you
and
think we're going to use that 15 pick as a pick?
yeah, I think so.
Right. Yeah. All right.
I mean, I only think like that because yes, we do have a lot of you know young guys on our defensive line, but it doesn't hurt to have one another versatile piece, you know, especially like somebody like a Mike Green that could bring that edge. Not just no, I'm not just talking about the position. I'm talking about bringing that edge in that locker room on that defensive line, and he could bring that attitude back to this defense. And I need something like that on my defense. And if that means that okay, I might miss out on a couple of picks, but it'll set us up for success in the future. I'm good with that.
Yeah, I've been hearing a lot of people, saying call this young man's name. Is is it fair to say that Mike Green would be a can't miss prospect at 15? Or if he's not, or is he close to it? Who is a can't miss prospect at 15 if they're there?
Well, to me, to me, if he's there, you get it because he jumps off off the screen. His tape is something else. Like he has the attributes that you want in a pass rusher, and he can he can do both. He can rush the passer and he can play against the run.
Okay. All right. All right. Mike Green. Uh, what would be another name that would possibly be a can't miss at 15? Because I'm trying to like roll some names, you know, it helped me, you know, have the mind like, okay, we got to make this pick at 15. I'm trying to find ways that's going to convince me that's going to convince me, all right, that we should make that pick instead of trading down or trading out of the first round for more picks. That's what I'm. That's what I'm looking at. That's how I'm looking at it. You know what I'm saying? Um, you know, I mean, because if I'm hearing green. I'm looking at it. But see, my bar is a little bit different. Um, so I'm trying to like you have a set of names that would, if just so happen to be there at 15, that would be a can't miss pick as opposed to trading down or trading out of the first round to accumulate more capital.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. I mean, for me,
Mm-hmm.
this for
Uh-huh.
me.
Uh-huh.
He. If he's there, I am getting him. I mean, look now. This is just based on what we've done in free agency.
Right.
Now, before what we did in free agency, I would say, who is it? A Will Johnson will be a can't miss prospect at 15.
Mm-hmm.
But since we've re-signed a cornerback and we signed a cornerback, I don't feel like we're gonna pick a cornerback that high. So that stretches out cornerback in the first one. Okay. What
Well,
do
is Will Johnson the only one of that position? I mean, you know what I'm saying? Because I've heard a couple other
I
names.
mean? It's a couple of them, but we're just talking about at 15, right?
Right.
Then I don't think we need to, get a cornerback that high, whoever it is, because we already have. What we need is depth. We don't need starters. We have starters, right?
What about Sean Taylor, little brother from Rice?
I like him. I like him. We could get him in like third or fourth round. Yeah, that's why I'm saying we don't need to get a cornerback in the first round. Unlike there's another one. Huh, what is his name? He's from East Carolina, Rebel Junior. He's nice
Oh.
as well.
Mm-hmm.
We could get him in the second, second, third round. I mean, we have options. Like, I don't know if we're not gonna be able to get no Jaden, JD, Jaden Barron, cornerback for
Uh,
Texas. I don't because he's up there.
you think that's the kid from Texas, right?
Yeah,
You think he going top 10?
he could.
Hmm. But what if he's there at 15?
No, no, no. I see you trying to set me up. No, I don't. I don't. No, what we're not gonna. I don't. I don't want no cornerback. Not because of what we did in the draft.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, in the free agency. No. Now, if you're saying, if you were to ask me, do you want to get a cornerback in third round where
Okay.
you can, build him up for a year or two,
Okay.
then yeah, I'm fine with that.
All right. We gonna pivot like this. What about a tackle, a offensive tackle at 15, or receiver at 15? Dun, 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 dun.
Tackle, I could be, I would like, you know, I like that, you know, I, I'm a
Yeah.
offensive lineman at heart,
Right.
so that's right down my alley. I don't know about getting a wide receiver that high
At
because,
15, a receiver at 15 would be too high.
well, it wouldn't be too
And
high,
then
but
depending on who that receiver is.
and if they're there, like I don't know if they're gonna, I don't know how far the drop off is between that top guy and McMillan and everybody else because I feel like yes, do we need, would it would be, would getting another weapon be, make me happy? Sure, it would, but I want defense. Period.
Which is the reason for me would be to trade down. Um, and there are one or two teams where we could hit a double up, or um trade out of the first round. For a couple of, what I'm saying, a couple of twos, a couple of fours, maybe a six.
I got you.
You know, um, and then too, like I said, that offer that we may not be able to refuse from a certain team out there in Texas if they decide to get a little ignorant and over offer for Kyle Pitts, because them Cowboys got 10 picks and some early round capital, and there's strong noise coming out of Texas about their interests. It's a lot of noise, saying that Jerry Jones is doing a lot of talking about Kyle Pitts. Now, again, for my money, he make one of them grand offers that we really can't refuse. You know what I'm saying? You know, some high end, you know, upfront draft capital, 2 or 3 picks, you know, 2, 3, you know what I'm saying, 2 or 3 picks this year and 2 next year maybe, you know, something to that effect. I'm like, buy Kyle, you know. I'm just saying, if there is there any, you know what I'm saying, fire to that particular smoke, he don't turn it down. Now, given the fact that Tyler is probably going to be asking for starter money, you know, I see him, you know, on the block as, you know, that's our most immediate. Him and Cousins. I mean, at this point, I'm like, man, if we can get 2 7th-round picks for Cousins, get that shit and get his ass on away from him. You know what I'm saying? Because you really you don't want you we don't need them kind of problems in the locker room. Number one, you know, after everything that has happened, either that, nobody even willing to offer that shit. Yeah, I don't see us paying him to be a backup. I just don't. And they don't want to. With the way everything has gone, you're definitely not going to be a starter. Now, you got you know, the Browns are looking, make a move. You know what I'm saying? Colts, Jacksonville, Miami, a few others that are in need of bridge quarterbacks, if you will. But do what we have to do to get him up out of here. But
what if we can't?
if we can't,
And we
I,
have to. I mean, we have to pay. What if we have to pay him to sit on the bench?
well, he's gotten the bulk of his guaranteed money this past season.
Yeah, well, that 100 million, gone.
90.
Whatever. That shit gone.
Yeah.
Mm.
He got I think he got like 63 or 64 of that last season. So we're talking about we're talking about 30 million at best, 20, 26, 27 to 30 million, which would give us I think a cap hit of 10. I mean, um, he's already got he got the roster bonus for still being here. That 10 million.
Well, they was gonna pay that anyway. So
I mean, it get down to if the draft comes and goes and we're not able to make a difference. Honestly, I said we bite the bullet on whatever we got left that owe him and cut him. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think they're gonna cut him.
After what is going on, shit, I mean, for you know, principles, morals, both common sensually and financially. At this point, you know, he's being more of a headache, a nuisance, and not team aspect wise, you know, than he's worth at this point. When you're
I
out there
get it.
getting in front of the microphones and saying the stuff that he's saying, at this point, I mean, I just you don't want to be paying him, you know what I'm saying, to be the highest paid practice squad quarterback.
I I get it. I get it. But if because we hold all the cards,
Yeah.
so we don't really have to, make a move until unless he has to do something. He got to waive that no trade clause. So if he's if we cannot find if nobody's willing to be a trade partner for him because they feel like it's too big of a risk because of what we might ask him to take on some of that contract, then you go sit your ass on the fucking bench, and then
Right.
you for a whole fucking year, and now you're damaged goods.
This is
I
true.
I see Terry being that type of asshole.
Yeah. Okay. All right. All righty. Well, you have that. You have understanding where we are with Tyler. He's outplayed his deal. He's going to be looking for starter money. I could see him being a day two move. I could also see him being a day one move. I mean, not saying that he's gonna garner high rank. I don't see us getting first and second round picks for him. You know, it's a slim possibility we get a third, but I can see us getting a couple of fourth rounds, a couple of fourth round picks. You know, and maybe a fifth and a sixth next year, or something like that. You know, he's played that. He's gonna get starter money on his new deal,
What?
or
Well,
some or something close to it.
with him going over 1,000 yards a couple of seasons ago, we could get a third round because he's not a scrub.
Yeah, he's
Even last
he
year,
he's
he was
this
good.
era's he's this period of time's Michael Turner.
Yeah,
Remember and remember, he Turner was a backup. He was a backup.
yeah. If they
Remember,
did
he was
something,
he was over there. He was over there backing up LaDainian Thomason before we
yeah,
got him.
I remember.
This is that same movie. This is that same movie. You know what I'm saying? Somebody's gonna give him $10 million a year to be a starter, and I don't see us giving him 10, $11 million a year, and then turn around and back in the Brinks truck up to Bijan. You know what I'm saying? 2 seasons later.
We see eye to eye on that. I don't think we not paying him no 10 million.
Yeah,
So
I'm just that's what I'm saying. I don't see us paying him starter money to be a backup. Just to try to keep that backfield together when we got little man. We got two other running backs. One's the third, and the other one's on the practice squad, waiting for elevation.
and we still got yeah, we got a couple of backs back there that we can
Uh huh.
use,
See, that's what I'm talking about.
and then
We're,
also
we're prepared for this situation. You know what I'm saying? That's how I know Tyler out of here. I'm pretty much I'm booking. You can book it. Tyler Algier will not be here after the draft. I'm just saying. You know. You know, it's systematically, it only makes sense, you know, and for what we need, you know. Now, defensively, defensively, again, like something that I said earlier today, but I'm gonna reiterate my disclaimer on it. Y'all have heard me say this time and time again. I have no faith in Uncle Jesse, and that just come with, you know what I'm saying, you know, that's throwing guilt by association. You know, I'm the emotional scars from us letting uh, 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 Wink Martindale get out of Atlanta without a deal. You know, I'm still kind of pissed off about that. You're gonna tell me that Jeff Albright was a better choice than Wink Martindale, a proven championship pedigree, a proven schematic guy, a proven, you know what I'm saying, winner. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. That has a that left a burnt vinegar taste in my mouth.
You might need some mouthwash then.
You know, maybe so. Maybe so. The only silver lining that I see with Albright is that he does develop linebackers, and we got a room full of them.
Well,
That,
let me
you know
ask
what I'm
you this,
saying,
man.
huh?
What has been our weak point on our defense besides pass rush?
Our underneath coverage by the linebackers, and some, you know, in some cases not being able to, you know, stay healthy, but for the most part, yeah, it has been a linebacker room. Now with what's in there, Troy, Bertrand, Malone, Ellis, um, you know, which I think, like I said, I that's the one thing that the silver lining with me with Albright is his ability to bring the best out of, you know what I'm saying, linebackers, you know, develop them, you know, and all that jazz. Um, but defensively as a whole, he got to show me totally. He got to show me to run an entire defense, because what I saw when he took over that team in New York, he took over that team in New York, and that nasty ass defense went from sugar to shit when he took over that team. That bothers me. That bothers me for a defense that was that good and that talented. And the moment Aaron Rodgers ran old boy from up in there, that deep, and he took over, and that defense went slap downhill. You went from number 2 to 22 in 5 weeks. That bothers me. And there was a whole wealth of talent on that defense. You had some all pros. You had some creme de la creme of personnel on that defense. You go from 2 to 22 in 5 weeks. That don't spell optimal defensive coordinator to me. It just don't.
So okay, let me ask you this then. Um, can we ask the question? Did they give up?
That could be part of the puzzle as well. I mean, with everything that went on up there, that involved the locker room counsel that is Aaron Rodgers. That could have played, what I'm saying, a part. But when you're put in a position and you've been in this league long enough, you know what I'm saying, and you're gonna tell me that, I mean, and I get where you come from. I get what you're asking. You know what I'm saying? But it's now, I guess maybe that may be too chaotic of a situation to place sole blame of the defense going downhill like that on him. And you're probably right. You're probably right. I mean, that's another reason why my outlook on it is, you know, everything's said and done, everything's put in place. We get into the start of the season. And them first 5 games, I'm just saying that for me, the leash is not going to be very long. We started the season doing the same bullshit that we did the last 9 games of the season. And I'm not hoping for that. I'm hoping for all the spiritual movement and inventing a new defense and all that talking he was doing. I'm hoping, wishing, and praying that it's all of that. I'm hoping, wishing, and praying that it's all of that, because there is a nice amount of talent on the D. There's some guys that what I'm saying should have been, what I'm saying, pushed, promoted, you know, put in place, should have saw more action than they did, what I'm saying, on the defense. So um hopefully what he said he was gonna do, he does. That's what I'm hoping. I have hope. Very little optimism, but I have hope. You know, just saying, it is it is he's got to show and prove. Just saying, for us to hire him over Wink Martindale, I hope I'm just saying, eh, eh, he put together a Frankenstein defense. Just championship defense, a playoff contending defense. I'm just saying that's what I'm hoping for. I'm not gonna be able to handle seeing another episode of the offense putting up 40 points and then defense giving up 50. I mean, you scapegoat to Jimmy Lake to get your little, what I'm saying, your homeboy in here, and he made all these assertions and premonitions and all of that there, spiritual journey and all this stuff. I'm just saying, the opposing quarterback needs to be uncomfortable. Running back's gonna have to be tap dancing and all of that, what I'm saying, to try to get through the line of scrimmage. You got to be taking folks' head off across the middle. I'm looking I'm looking for some reckless, abandoned, hidden, and getting off the field on third down, not giving up, 30 points and a half, not giving up leads. And I'm looking for all that. It's just, where, with this hire and the way and what we chose not to hire by hiring him. Not just Martindale, Wilkes as well, and the other guy. All three of those guys that we brought in here and didn't hire and hired him instead. But I'm just saying, we, I sincerely hope he shows us verifiably why he was quote unquote the best person for this job, for this situation. When you let those three gentlemen, those three established gentlemen at defensive coordinator, come in here, interview, and walk away from here without a deal, I sincerely hope that he knows a whole lot of something that we don't. A lot of people may not feel the way that I feel. It's cool. Everybody's entitled to their opinion and their perspective. But I'm just saying, for my money, to let those three individuals that we interviewed walk in and walk out of here after the interview with no deal, and you hire him. All right. I'm just saying. That's just my my particular forte of the situation.
I'll give him the clean slate. You ain't gotta give it to him. I'll give it to him.
Like, giving him the benefit of the doubt.
Clean slate.
Oh, clean slate. Oh, I mean, listen. It may not be as it may not sound as clean as good, but my version of the clean slate is having some hope. That's about as best. That's about as good as I can do with it at this particular moment in time. It may
Yeah.
change by the time we get to training camp. Who knows? It is what it is. You know. Um,
That's why I said I'll do that. You ain't gotta do that. I will
uh,
do.
okay. Yeah. Before we roll to closing uh thoughts, this week's sports tea dummy of the week. Um, is going to be Anthony White for obvious reasons. Co-winner as well, Stephen A. Smith for obvious reasons. Um, both of them need to shut the entire fuck up. Both of them need to stop talking for a few months. And both of them look like dumb assholes this week. They're just my particular take and forte for Sports Tea Dummy of the Week. Now, if you have a nominee, I would, you could throw it out there.
No, you got it right. No. I'm not gonna take that shine away from him. Nope. Mm-mm. He gonna wear that shitty ass crown. Nope. Mm-mm.
Okay, okay, all right.
After that shit that we seen, oh no, nope,
Yeah,
mm-mm,
yeah,
mm-mm,
yeah,
nope.
yeah,
You take
yeah.
that. Just like Diddy said, you take that.
Take that, take that, take that. All right, franchise. We gonna wrap this thing up. Give your closing thoughts, whatever it may be, wherever it may be, in whatever sector. Give your closing thoughts.
Okay. Well, all I'm gonna say is let's move on. Let's move on from all the hurt that you might have, might be feeling from what could have been and what they may have let down your expectations. Okay, so what? They didn't get everybody that you wanted in free agency. So what? We didn't have that much money to begin with. So let's. I just want us as a fan base, as a whole, to stop acting like spoiled brats and to be happy with what we have and have faith. I know it's hard, but have faith that we can turn this around. It all starts next week. It all starts next week. Let let's 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 get it. I mean, we right here, the finish line, right here. The draft is next week. Let's give these guys the chance to pick who they're going to pick, and then
Right,
come OTAs and training camp. Let's build these guys up so they can be ready to hit the ground running come preseason. Let's get it. That's all I'm saying. Let's go.
right, 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 right. Well, my closing thoughts. Um, Bye, Julio.
I believe it.
Hey, I gave him his flowers. It may have been just two flowers, but I gave him his flowers last week. You
Yeah,
know, um, you know, uh, with that being said, congrats, best wishes, um, in your next life, whatever that may be, what I'm saying, after football. Um, Looking forward to seeing whatever impact Matt Ryan is going to make, what I'm saying, in his consultation of our quarterback and his offense. Um, yeah, that's pretty much about covered as far as that is concerned. Um, be aware and tune in 3:30 Friday, Falcon Friday Afternoon Madness. We'll be at you with some more things, more topics. Um, oh, congrats to Prime, Coach Prime, getting that $54 million extension. Um, Now a lot of y'all can shut up about the Dallas job. Uh,
thank you.
you know, and look and understand prime time is on time in NCAA. And he told y'all he was coming. He told you they was coming. He got 1, 2. I think what did he say? The next four draft classes that he got lined up, and a lot of them involved some youngins of some individuals that played in the league. Um, then he added somebody to his staff too.
Marshall Falk.
Yeah, yeah. And it's funny now. It's kind of funny. Uh, Remember Marshall, Warren,
Mhm.
uh, 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 and old boy used to be running back for Denver. All them they got fired from NFL Network under that little scandal. There ain't but one of them that's left that's still unemployed. And Marshall got a job. Warren Sapp got a job. Hey, y'all can stop talking down on Prime, man. Y'all can stop talking down on Prime. He has done a lot for a lot of people. He put a lot of people in position to succeed. He put a lot of people in position to have a second chance at life. He's put a lot of people in position, you know what I'm saying, to rest easy and not be concerned financially. Y'all stop talking down on Prime. That's a good dude. That's a God-fearing dude. Okay. And like he said, don't let your don't let his confidence inflame or burn, you know what I'm saying, or build your insecurities. Not his fault. If he's good at whatever he's doing, and when he does it, you know, he's in your face about it. Hey, it is what he is. He came in the league in 1989 like that. He left the league like that. He started coaching like that. And he gonna stay like that. Dion, prime time. Deion Sanders, put some respect on his name. And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, the pot is empty. That is this is your episode of the tea. All right, you know what I'm saying? So you got to keep it A. You got to keep it a little dirty. And most notably, you got to keep it real with yourself. Let your next choice be your best choice. For the franchise, it's OG Big Sam, aka Mr. White. And we out.
And